the top lane is Hero. Expect to see things like the Rumble, the Jayce. Rumble already banned away by MKOI. We'll see with the Talia and Azir, the focus on Jojo alongside a Poppy taken away by Team Secret Wales, who elected to be on the blue side for this deciding game.
And we're getting really down there as far as the jungle champs as well. We know we've got Pantheon, Vi, Nocturne, all still available. With the Annie banned, you're even going down to the tier of like Ahri in mid lane, Akali, Aurora, these types of champions here that, you know, really do benefit from one of those bursty AD junglers to go along with it. Personally, I would love to see a TSW Nocturne. You know, the Vietnam Nocturne. Nocturne is one of the most banned champs versus this team, and always does have that extra little bit of power at Worlds.
Especially if you start to see MKOI going towards this more dive-orientated composition, like things like the Vi coming through for Elyoya in that jungle, having that disruption. If you've got a Kaisa that's trying to follow up, or activities for Jojopyun that he wants to get involved in, it can make things a little bit more difficult there. So already though, Rell taken here, trying to secure one of the last few remaining engaged champions, Leona and Nautilus, the two that remain.
Yeah, I mean, since Rakan, Alistar, and Braum are all out from Fearless, I do actually like it, investing in that really early to get that big AoE engage. And so pick up those AD junglers to pair with Aurora, any of the ones that we did mention. We didn't mention an Myrwn, though.
Yeah, I don't think he counts as the traditional AD jungler.
No.
Looks like Team Secret Wales are going to move more towards that engage with the Vi. I love the Rell first pick or early pick here by MKOI, just because when Alvaro is on something he is comfortable with, where he can initiate, MKOI thrive, and that is exactly what they're giving him.
There is also the opportunity to swap this Aurora to the top lane. Hero has played one game of it in the past and does do relatively well into the Ksante, can look to bully it out in the early stages and still open up for Dire to have a good counter matchup if you decide to go for it. But there's that Vi Kaisa that we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. The dive comp here, and Kaisa, one of Eddie's specialties. With the Vi Aurora, it's straightforward. You're looking at dive. So MKOI, what kind of counter to dive can you draft? Lissandra certainly is one piece.
Has she been found? No. But I
that's
love
the whole story, man.
Yeah. Oh, my mistake. I do like the Lissandra for Jojo. We have seen him bring it out already in the LEC, but instead the Xayah to avoid some of that engage. Makes sense. Don't want to leave it to get banned in the next round of bans.
Yeah. The counter engage that we're looking for, the safety there, the most classic matchup, I feel like, that we have historically in competitive League of Legends, the Kaisa versus the Xayah.
And now I believe you're just going to ban away anything that's good for into the Ksante for MKOI. Things like that Gwen can still be shifted, unless you are just assuming that Aurora is going to be moved up into that top side of the map. Could even look to ban away things like the Nautilus or the Leona if you really want. But yeah, I think just top lane matchup's going to be a good call. Make sure Myrwn's comfortable. And Myrwn has had fantastic performances on this Ksante when he's able to get going and have a good matchup. And I think that's what MKOI will be relying on once more.
Yeah, some exciting low health 2v1 opportunities maybe in his future. Meanwhile, as you say, expecting to continue to chop down on Jojo's champ pool here. Okay, the Victor is the one of choice as mid lane is really getting down there.
Bard banned away from Taki by MKOI. I'm looking like we've got jungle and mid left for MKOI, and we are really beginning to pinch that pool quite a lot. The Victor banned away, the Vex banned away. MKOI likely to pick their mid laner here, expecting that Aurora to go mid. You could, of course, go for jungle Naafiri, an option, and it will be locked in for Elyoya once the weight of the game on his shoulders to a degree. We saw it in the Qiyana game, we now see it with the Naafiri. Need to get ahead in the early game, need to get the ball rolling, and it did work for MKOI when they started to get towards those team fights.
Also just another one that has that invulnerability, keep himself safe from being a potential dive pick from this Vi and this Kaisa. But as you say, you need to be that damage threat in fight, need to get the ball rolling. So I do like that we're seeing this last pick coming through for MKOI, so they can make sure that Jojo is comfortable and being able to enable this Naafiri in the jungle.
Exactly. I always love it into the Vi because of the W for Naafiri. And there you go, Medic. You were talking about the Jayce early on. We do get the Jayce coming through as well for their side.
The Jayce does feel a little at odds with the rest of the composition, though, because I traditionally would look more towards, hey, we want Poke and Ezreal and these kind of things. Whereas when I'm looking at Team Secret Wales, it is much more dive. So I'm curious if it is just a case of, hey, get some early gold control in towards Hero, leave him as a split pusher that we don't really want to get involved in fights, and play through a strong 4v4 where it's Ksante struggling to answer for the Jayce on the side.
Leona locked in for Team Secret Wales to round out their comp, gives them a bit of a long-range engage, which they'll definitely enjoy. The ability to get, you know, Naafiri's invulnerabilities out, that core of the pack. She has to eviscerate away at a hover of the LeBlanc, but it's going to be Ahri for Jojopyun, something he's so experienced on.
Yeah, that's what we were mentioning, because the ult buff on the patch as well. We're maybe seeing, thinking of seeing a little bit more of it, but as we get into the Fearless matches, we really get to it, and now you're going to be able to see him on one of the champions that he definitely was well known for.
And also just so incredibly strong in enabling these ganks towards the mid lane, trying to shut down the Aurora in the early stages and get Elyoya rolling. And this has kind of been the story of, hey, Alvaro working with Elyoya, playing towards that mid lane for so long in the LEC. Now they have to see if they can do it against Team Secret Wales, but Hizto has been fantastic in working with Taki in their own right, in being able to play towards Dire, shut down any aggression in that game. We've even saw it in the start of game number 1, or sorry, over the course of the series in game 2, and now we just have to see if they can find that success here again.
Here we are, do or die for Team Secret Wales and for MKOI. Elimination or elation as the coaches bump fists and take themselves off the stage. It's all down to those 10 players loading into Summoner's Rift to see who goes through to 2-2 and plays in a couple of days' time, and who takes the flight home. For MKOI, it's all about vengeance. 3 times in a row, they have lost to an LCP team at internationals. PSG, GAM, CFO have all defeated them. Now Team Secret Wales just 1 game away from taking their spot in that 2-2 slot, and looking to prove that that LCP is not just the Flying Oysters.
And MKOI also said on Euphoria that they wanted to play against CFO, they wanted to right some of the wrongs from MSI, but the fact that here against Team Secret Wales, they may not even get past the finish line, I think would be incredibly disappointing for the fans, for the organization, for the players. And now they have to see if they can find that moment in Game 3 to bring them just 1 more day along.
Breaking some of the tension here with some friendly emo game.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. And the elimination game for each of them, still feeling very good.
I feel like there's an initiation ceremony for top laners that no one else knows about, where they go in, it's like, okay, this is where you go, and this is how much you can emote, and at this exact time you have to leave, and that's the rules, okay?
Unless you're Broken Blade against Myrwn, where you use that, and then 5 members come out of a bush and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The little bait and switch, you know?
No such dirty tactics in this game, though. We've got honorable top laners this time around.
Xayah will get the ward across the wall here onto those Razor Beaks. Foxfire out of Jojopyun, both of them running that electrocute, but Xayah on the right side of the trades as Jojo already has popped a potion.
Yeah, Jojo on his most played champion of his career of all time, the Ahri here, in such a clutch match. We'll see if that ends up being a deciding factor. Junglers starting on opposite sides here, so we do have Hizto pathing towards his Jayce lane, towards his pushing top lane. Isolated matchup up there. Meanwhile, Elyoya pathing bottom side, as is so frequent for MKOI. They really do need their bottom lane to be in good condition.
And I think it makes sense, as you say, like Hizto wants to be able to get up, get some deep vision in that top side, and just enable this Jayce to play through the strength of the lane. I don't really think we'll see much in the way of dives, but just in allowing Hero to play as aggressive as possible is all you really want in that top lane.
Yeah, and for the MKOI side, of course, Elyoya wants, Supa wants this Xayah to be multiple items here, to be able to really carry this game. So far this series, it has not been the best for Supa, and they really are going to need him to do some work in this game, this final deciding one. Of course, Elyoya is on a champion. He can output some very respectable damage himself. We'll see if he can carry some of that damage too.
I think often dependent on the build. Sorry, for Elyoya. For Jojo. I thought you said Jojo instead of Elyoya. So I was going to say it's depending on the build for the Ahri, how much damage he puts out, because sometimes you see those slightly tankier Ahri builds, but Elyoya, as you say, will definitely put out quite a bit of DPS on that Naafiri if he's able to get onto this backline, because there's always the risk. You jump in with a Hound's Pursuit, immediately you get stunned up with a Shield of Daybreak, you have Cease and Desist, you have Solar Flare to follow up, and you just don't get an opportunity to move as you dive in towards that backline. Hero with a slight lead over Myrwn on the top side, as to be expected in the ranged into melee matchup. Uses using that ranged form to get the grasp stacks off. And Hizto and Elyoya on opposite sides of the map should both just take their own scuttlecraft.
Myrwn does have to be careful about how aggressive he trades here, because there is a jungler on the top side of the map, and that wave will crash, and I think this is the signal for Hizto to go, but maybe...
going in, look for the 1v1, and Topos goes in with the Pathmaker and just claps him! Smacks him between his and Topos. Hizto will get one in response. In the end, Team Secret Wales will be happy with the extra assist goal.
And he puts up the emote at the end that says, I hate junglers. he gets his solo kill first, though, before the arrival of the jungler. In the end, of course, the extra assist on the kill does mean the extra 50% gold for the team. But Myrwn here on his Ksante, you were talking about it already.
And the fact that you managed to get the early chain vest is so nice, because it's a tier purchase and some boots on the opposite side. Not really something that will try and push the lane forward, but it's a really nice job. I'm assuming jump, to the minion that had gone forward, and then uses that W to make sure they can get the auto attack. And the flip comes through, but Myrwn, he already got the job done. Really nicely played.
I actually really like using the Pathmaker instead of the Q3 there. It feels like the anticipation from Hero is I will look for the Q3 animation and then flash. But as soon as Pathmaker comes out, it's much more tricky to dodge away as Xayah hits the weirding onto Jojo, but the way he pushed in, Jojo should just be able to get a recall off. Has gone for an early Ruby Crystal. We'll see where that build ends up going on the Ahri, and Hero still winning out the trades on top side.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he'd try and go for the early Bramble Vest, to be honest, just because it is nice into some of these matchups where at least you're able to trade back effectively when you are getting auto attack down, some damage is going back. But the early chain vest is still incredibly nice. Again, you scale so well with resistances on Ksante, plus the fact you're just not going to get hit for as much is going to be nice, although Myrwn is struggling a little bit as he gets back to late.
Yeah, we'll see once again, because both junglers, again, re-clearing to opposite sides of the map, so the pressure is always going to remain. Jayce just teleports right back up there, and after the deaths, kind of shrugs it off, gets back to pushing, back to harassing you. Meanwhile, is going to be traded for the pressure on the other side. Ooh, had to use the smite at the end. Stings a little bit, but not the biggest issue here, and we're still going to get the return.
Myrwn is level 6, has his flash, as does Hero, both of them holding on to it from that first fight. Hizto looking for the flank position. Shock Blast going to hit onto this Ksante. Hizto going in. Myrwn forces him away. Vault Breaker out with the plate over to Hero as MKOI secure the Drake.
It's a nice play from Hizto, even if he doesn't get the kill, as you say, just putting that pressure down, keeping Hero safe, and trying to abuse the matchup in its entirety, even getting this Scuttlecraft on that top side, but bot lane.
The dive in with the Zenith Blade. Blade Caller coming out from Supa to get the root onto Eddie. Heal was used by Taki in exchange for the cleanse from Supa. Taki still looking for a little bit more here as he goes forward with the Oracles, just forcing Supa and Alvaro away. Meanwhile, on the top side, Xayah looking for the dive. Another Zenith Blade onto Alvaro, but Elyoya's on his way. Doesn't have the 6 yet. Alvaro flashing away. Cleanse flash out by Taki with a dive in with the Eviscerate. Meanwhile, on the top side, Hizto and Xayah look for more. Taki low gets away. No! Elyoya gets him in the end. Supa just surviving. Myrwn down to 300 HP as the dive materializes for Team Secret Wales. Myrwn looking for that all out. Pops the Pathmaker into the Vault Breaker. Hero flashes in. Will tank 2 tower shots though. And he's slain by the tower. Myrwn unable to proc an auto on him means that Team Secret Wales get out with a kill and not giving up any gold to Myrwn.
Yeah, no one else was taking right there. And in the end, it is answered on the other side. This is the kind of fun that you get when you have opposite side jungle paths. We did have Jojo stay mid though, so the Ahri passively wins out by staying mid and pushing. His tempo was a little bit messed up there with the interrupt on the recall, but he did get the guaranteed push of the extra minion wave of the tower plate in mid too.
But that's why I was kind of surprised to see Eddie and Taki go for the fight on bot side. They were going for the dive on top, knew they were on the weak side, but still wanted to take the trade, and then as a result, they end up giving that kill across, so it could have been a bigger win for Team Secret Wales if the bot lane had just kind of played it passively.
Yeah, hey, Supa barely living too there on the edge.
Myrwn going all out. Hero doesn't have flash, and Myrwn's just going to chase him down with the Topos. Gets it after the Q3. Zenith Blade from Taki missing towards that top side. Myrwn very happy in this 1v1.
Yeah, Myrwn says, welcome to the series, Hero. Puts him down again on the Ksante. And that is going to be pretty big repercussions because there's no teleport for TSW to answer that. So Myrwn gets to push the full wave into the tower on bottom side.
And this is why this man is so terrifying on this pick. He consistently seems to be able to find these moments where he can find the solo kill, get massive tempo leads for himself, and open up windows crucially for MKOI to find success in side lanes, even after he's just gone down. And now Hizto, happy that he's able to pick up at least two of those koi grubs.
Takes 2 of the grubs, could have taken 3, but decides to leave the 3rd one as Elyoya looking to try and steal away as much of this jungle as possible. There is a red buff if he can get any deeper, but Hizto comes across, and with that last grub being left up, I wonder if that's maybe just a strategic play.
I think it was just to try and protect his bot side jungle and make sure that it wasn't going to be completely stolen away by Elyoya.
Yeah, 100%, because Dyer saw Elyoya, and so they had vision on him, and Dyer was trying to keep him there, but Naafiri is pretty slippery, so Elyoya is able to get out.
Now Hizto pathing up towards the top side, looking for the fight against Supa and Alvaro. Taki has been chucking out those Zenith blades on repeat. Shattering Strike, Solar Flare. Featherstorm still available for Supa, doesn't use it yet. Hizto still looking for that dive. Alvaro down to about 2/3 HP, and as soon as the ward comes across the wall, Hizto backs away.
Supa not really budging there at all. Doesn't use the Featherstorm, the flash either to get away. Knows that it's only going to be the slow that hits, and that was the reason they didn't go for it, but now bot lane.
Hero stepping forward, doesn't have the flash. Elyoya's on the chase. Darking Daggers don't connect, and he doesn't want to go in with that Hound's Pursuit.
Yeah, wave is still in a terrible spot for Hero. Looks like Ksante is just going to delete the wave anyways, though, as Hizto will now return to finish the work that he started earlier.
Nice interrupt there from Alvaro on to the reset from the Kaisa. Actually interrupts it again, so Eddie going to be very late on the reset. Dragon in 55 seconds, and I think that should give that push now on the bot lane to Supa, so then you can actually transition over first towards that Dragon.
For the moment, Alvaro just getting a little bit of vision around this blue buff. Red buff still available for Hizto, who has been stealing away as much of Elyoya's jungle as possible. You can actually see Hizto has 4 camps up, and Elyoya only has 1. There's only his wolves for him right now, as Hizto will be able to get on a little bit of a lead. Next strike up in 30 seconds time. We'll see if MKOI want to force
they're ganking bottom.
There's a gank happening bot side. Featherstorm still available for Supa here, but the flank from Taki, cleanse immediately. There's the exhaust going down now. Elyoya and Alvaro on their way across. Supa uses the Featherstorm. Does have to burn his cleanse and that ultimate to get out.
That Featherstorm was perfect though. The Zenith Blade and the immediate ult was coming from Taki, and the fact that you managed to just barely dodge both is the only reason Supa was able to escape away from those.
Yeah, no Kaisa ult and no Leona ult now on the side of TSW, and the Dragon just spawned. Looks like we're still getting resets anyways, as Elyoya does have the full Sojin done, so nice power spike there for the Naafiri. This really does boost the champion's damage here. The second Q, especially with the execution damage on it, so he's going to head right back out towards the Dragon side of the map.
You kind of feel the tension between these two teams. Like, game 1 was a kill a minute, game 2 a little bit slower. Now we're at 5 kills in 11 minutes, basically halved from the speed that we were playing in game 1. Earth note their tournament lives on the line as Elyoya will start up this Cloud Drake. They have push in bot, and the wave in mid has already been cleared out. So it should be an easy enough Dragon here for MKOI. Will be their 2nd of the game.
It's Myrwn who needs to be careful though. This entire series, Team Secret Whale has been so good with the cross maps, but Myrwn backing right the way off, making sure he's not going to be under any threat on that top side. And it will be MKOI able to pick up the objective with no real answer from Team Secret Whales.
Okay, a lot of pings going down on this Xayah that has no ult, no cleanse at the moment, but I think Supa should be safe either way. And he gets a little nervous, has no vision around him, so backs off and pays respects, goes for his reset, no problem.
Has to do it now. Without the Featherstorm, without the cleanse, you need to just be that little bit more cautious. As Alvaro putting a bit of vision towards the top side. We'll spot Hizto jumping across the wall here. Alvaro could look for an engage into Shadowing Strike, and he'll use it. Flash Shadowing Strike into the charm. Cease and desist used perfectly to buffer out of that charm. Bolt Breaker out as well. Perfectly played by Hizto, but there still might be too many MKOI members surrounding him and getting the kill. TP in by Taki, no mana at the moment on Jojo. Accelerating Shock Blast coming out from Hero as they go in with a Hound's Pursuit. And now this Jayce is in the middle of MKOI. Alvaro using that Magnustorm into a great crash down, but Dyer's here to bolster the defenses. Supa coming across from the side. Alvaro falling low, will be taken out by a Weirding. Hero able to escape. Taki going back in with the Zenith Blade. Supa flashing forward with the Blade caller, but now the rest of his team are nowhere to be found. Team Secret Wales find 2.
Eddie arrives and he collects the extra money. The Kraken Slayer was just done on the Kaisa. That Kaisa as well, after driving by, grabbing the kill, as Jojo lands another charm, by the way, hitting all 3 charms, although the first one was a really nice buffer from Hizto. Regardless, though, the Kaisa coming in at the end and collecting a lot of money is very good prospects for TSW, with them being a very dive-oriented composition with at least 4 of the members.
And it looked like maybe MKOI would be able to play this one out. They managed to get Hizto, but as Kobe said, the buffer was perfect. They chased down Hizto, and then at this stage they realized, hang on, no, we need to try and back away. We don't have the members in the position that we want to, especially with Hero coming down. But watch the charm. Interrupts the crash down from Hero, and Alvaro and MKOI are still trying to play this one out. But this Kaisa has ran the entire way from bot lane, whereas you've got the Ksante who's still in base. So more members of Team Secret Wales can jump in the mid lane.
Jojo caught out, doesn't have the flash, no spirit rush for him either, and Eddie gets his second. Alvaro a little bit off to the side here, will be able to crash down away from it, but now Eddie 900 gold ahead of his opposite man.
Eddie, I swear, this guy is the hope for TSW every single game. And it's going to be no different this time around on the Kaisa. Now 2 kills to his name.
Team Secret Wales now 1.3k ahead, 30 seconds on the Herald. You see the reset coming out from Taki. He's already completed his redemption, whereas Alvaro does not have that tool in his arsenal. So MKOI much more likely to play down towards this bottom side, give up the top side pressure, and you can see Elyoya coming across. There's the TP in, redemption already onto Hero. Hound's Pursuit coming down as well as Myrwn looks for the Q3, but Hero's topped up by that redemption, still taken out by Jojo, who came in with that teleport. Dire here to try and defend the tower and will manage to do so. Dire jumping forward, will just back away.
There's so many members of MKOI here, though. They're still trying to fish. Dire needs to be a little bit careful. Jojo starting to step forward, but it looks like they will just back away. Is Hizto able to get the Rift Herald?
Yeah, once again, TSW still with the gold lead, but stacking dragons for MKOI, and they are making a couple of pick plays for themselves. You see in the aftermath as well, important to lay behind the super deep warding. Right now, Alvaro is lighting up this red quadrant of the jungle as the second red buff is going to spawn. And we're only a minute and 30 seconds away from the dragon, so already preemptively laying the groundwork to continue the dragon stacking for MKOI.
Already have 2 to their name. No feat of warfare claimed, feat of strength claimed by either team as of yet. 2 objectives to 1. First 3 kills were hit by MKOI, so either the next objective or the tower for MKOI will be enough.
I am curious how aggressive MKOI want to get at this next dragon, though. Rod of Ages only just completed, a single stack for Jojo. Your Naafiri isn't really hitting on all cylinders at this stage, and same with Xayah. She really wants some sort of attack speed item before she commits to any sort of fights. I think the power spikes here on Team Secret Wales off of a singular item are just significantly stronger, so I like MKOI trying to play away from the objective, look to get gold in their favor and see if they can find picks rather than going toe-to-toe in the team fights.
Smart play from Hero just to back away from that tower. Knew that Alvaro was in the area, could kind of expect that Elyoya was in the area. Team Secret Wales should be able to take the first tower. No wave here for MKOI, means that TSW will get that first turret on the board.
Okay, it's gonna come down to the last objective then.
Yep. Next Drake, 20 seconds away. And at the moment, MKOI not in the position to really fight around it. You can see MKOI trying to deny as many of these minions as possible by letting the towers hit them before they are felled by Jojo in the end. Now, Jojo doesn't have his teleport, nor does Myrwn. There's no TPs on the side of TSW either, but at the moment, they're the ones with more players towards this dragon side of the map.
They also have the Rift Herald. I think Team Secret Wales, again, the one item spike's much stronger position on the map, was in a much better position. So MKOI happy to just call it and say we won't take this fight. Instead, we'll look to push in, put some pressure onto this topside jungle, some pressure onto the tier 2. And if Team Secret Wales over-index into protecting the tier 2, we can always fall back and try and take this mid-turn instead.
Yeah, and they're kind of fishing around the jungle as well. Taki here, pretty tanky on Leona, trying to deny like big cross-map play. MKOI in the end get a couple of jungle camps, and
Shattering Strike immediately, they dive onto Taki, and the Eclipse is not enough to save him! The Redemption not down in time, he does land the Solar Flare, Spirit Rush, dive in with a killing streak from Eddie as well, but Elyoya's on the chase, trying to take down that Kaisa, and the Darking Daggers will be enough! The Hounds of Hell from Elyoya for the double! MKOI collapse!
Alvaro consistently interrupted the follow-up from Team Secret Wales as the pick on Taki that might have just blown this game open in favor of MKOI.
Huge error from TSW. Why did they dive in on that after Taki got caught? Vi ultimate and Kaisa ultimate. You saw Eddie immediately regretted it. He flashes out afterwards. But MKOI, they get even more than they wanted out of this. They steal the blue buff, get their kill on the Leona, and then here, you know, he ults in. Immediately, Eddie tries to flash away, but Elyoya is on him.
And it's the veteran of Team Secret Wales that is caught. The man who's been leading this group of youngsters to this international stage that may have just cost them, as now once more stepping up towards Myrwn, just wants to try and get some vision back. And MKOI, they're looking for more picks.
Trying to catch out Hero, who's not had a great game. Shattering the stun coming down there from Alvaro with the Shattering Strike. Crash down as well. Hero forced down to about a third HP as Jojo should be able to gain control over this wave. 4 stacks on his Rod of Ages, Horizon Focus completed. 2 items now on Eddie though, who is only 300 gold behind his opposite man. Eddie, really where you hang your hat now if you're Team Secret Wales, it feels.
Especially because even though you don't get the kill, forcing the reset here from Hero means that you can put pressure on the spot lane turret and deny Hizto from actually using this Rift Herald. It is still sitting in his back pocket, but hasn't found a good timing window to put it down yet.
MKOI, they just control the map now. I mean, applying pressure in both side lanes and the safety to control mid since there's no tower there for TSW already. Feels like they can just complete the circle, grab your last outer tower, further increase this gold lead on Jojo's Ahri, and really put the threat of further picks onto TSW, get right back on track for that dragon stacking, only 2.5 minutes away from the arrival of the mountain.
MKOI will be very happy with where the gold has landed for them as a team. Elyoya being 3-0 through, Black Cleaver, Spear complete, Jojo being ahead as well. Hizto going to start up this Artican. You can see Dyer looking for a little bit of a flank as he moves towards that mid lane, but Team Secret Wales will be forced off the objective for now.
It's a bluff, it feels like, from Secret Wales, wanting to see if they can get Jojopyun to TP, maybe use some of that pressure of the elimination game to force errors from MKOI. There is the Rift Herald though, and not really many members on this top side for MKOI, so it looks like he should be able to get this top lane turret.
Try and charge in towards it. Can use it as an escape tool as well. Riftherald will be able to get that charge in. Myrwn here to defend, but he can't do anything about Riftherald actually managing to take down that tower. Team Secret Wales, they use it, they get gold out of it. Obviously would have liked the mid lane tower a little bit more, but you got to take what you can get when you are 3k gold behind.
They were also pinging the wards that they knew were in their own jungle, having seen Jojopyun just reset, so I think a little bit wary of a potential TP flank from the Ahri, and happy enough to just get some of that gold and not, as you say, overextend and maybe throw that game away.
And Jojo, with this tanky build, you know, the early rod stacking up, yeah, but also the mid game, just Verdant Barrier by itself as a little component provides so much value versus a team that has Vi and Leona on it. Very, very high value spells to block with that thing. So Jojo, not only is he rich on his most played champion of his career, but he's also in a very, very good spot itemized here to make some aggressive picks and position pretty deep into the jungle. You see MKOI right now trying to move up a little bit into the defensive vision that TSW have set.
You're sneaking forward here with that Oracles will deny any knowledge of where he is. Histo's going to go on towards the Wolves. Team Secret Wales as a 3-man squad defending their own jungle. Alvaro looking for something here as Elyoya backs away. His dogs will take that shot blast. Jojo looking for a flank as well onto Eddie. You get that cleanse out of him before a fight begins. Be very happy, but with no pressure, Bot Hero moves across and covers his AD carry.
We're starting to see the work that MKOI put in over the course of summer coming to fruition, playing through that 1-3-1 with moving Jojo back and forth between these lanes, fishing for picks, and it's a slow, patient game from MKOI at the moment. We'll have to see if Team Secret Wales can find a way to break this. Dyer hovering just out of vision, hoping to find that pick.
Yeah, man, it is crazy hard because you're like, all right, we're a dive comp. Should we go for Naafiri? No, W is up. All right, let's not go for Naafiri. That one's hard. Should we go for Ahri? Well, she has a spell shield and ultimate ready. Okay, should we go for Xayah? Well, Xayah has cleanse flash and ult, so.
Oh, you're saying Ksante.
Yeah! Just like, what target do you dive with this dive comp? I think MKOI just they have to set themselves up with all of the answers here to TSW, and so good job getting their Dragon Soul point there. TSW are forced into this kind of like desperate, I feel like, Otacon pull.
Yeah, that's what they're going to go for, and MKOI actually pushing Xayah out of his blue side jungle. The Otacon already down to 8,000 HP as MKOI look to see if the fight is viable. Myrwn on the flank, Redemption coming down. Alvaro with a 3-man Magnet Storm, and it's Supa that takes the Otacon. Hop goes the Vi, and the rest of his team follows suit. MKOI looking for vengeance against the LCP as they take down 4. Xayah unallowed to escape. It's an ace for MKOI.
Movistar KOI will keep their world's dreams alive as they march down the mid towards the base of Team Secret Wales.
They got a bunch of Otacon flowers, and they will put those flowers at the graves of TSW. Triple stun on the crash down from Alvaro, and they just wiped them off the map.
Alvaro has been so crucial to MKOI when it comes to these team fights, when it comes to the engages all year long, and once again, he is stepping up for MKOI on the international stage, pushing Team Secret Wales back.
Don't care about Otacon, play for fights.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, get them both.
Didn't care about Otacon. As actually we see a catch coming out, all out going out from Myrwn as he looks to escape from Taki and Hizto. Hero coming in as well. Myrwn, very tanky. You can see the damage from Supa in that last fight. I will say, it's easy enough to pull the feathers back through everyone when they're CC'd for a year and a half. Credit to Alvaro, he's the one that set it up.
Yeah, Q flash crash down.
I mean, when he's doing 2.5k damage in the fight in his own right, I think it's pretty good.
Redemption bolstering up those numbers. the aggro Redemption. Jojo with the charm onto Xayah. Should be able to jump out of this. We'll go across the veil, try to get back towards his tower, but the tower isn't even safe as Jojo just dives in and Xayah dies.
Yeah, that's about all you need to say for that one. Right in his face, just destroys him under tower. And TSW, they were already up against the wall. They were already desperate with the last play. Now even more so, trying to just go out fighting.
That's 2.5 minutes until that's all they need is.
Flash forward into the cease and desist, and they find Supa! A perfect play by Team Secret Wales in the mid lane. Go down fighting, you say. They're not sure about the go down part yet, Kobe.
Well, they need Baron to go down if they hope to hold on to this, and they need to start it up immediately. You can see everyone in MKOI is running as quick as they can to try and answer for the play.
Baron begun by Team Secret Wales. MKOI looking to collapse. Xayah still in base, doesn't have TP. He's running as fast as his legs can carry him to join his team. Currently a 4v4 as Alvaro looks for the flank position. Elyoya going in with the Darking Daggers. Xayah trying to flank from the bottom side of the fight. Alvaro's here though. Crash down, Magnuson finds 2, hand pursuit in. Elyoya's already killed off the enemy jungler, and Eddie is next on the menu. These hounds are hungry, and the pursuit goes on to Taki. A triple for Elyoya.
The captain of MKOI picks up the triple kill on the back of it, and MKOI, despite losing Supa, will hold on to the fight and take the Baron for themselves.
All right, MKOI looking like they are going to survive here at Worlds and wrap up this series. Dyer and Jojo once again as Dyer is forced to flee.
MKOI now 8,000 gold ahead. They will secure the Baron. They have 2 waves pushing in. For Team Secret Wales, the shot is another catch. It's another pick onto Supa. It's another great engage from Hizto.
And that's what people love about this team. They never just sit back and lose. They're always going to look to still make the aggressive play. And the flash from Hizto to reduce the amount of time that Supa had to react to that was great. Then, of course, you're still in a tough situation.
As Jojo maybe called out a little bit. TP is coming in from Team Secret Wales. Hizto still looking for that cease and desist. Volt breaker forward. The charm will stop in. TP behind as well by Myrwn. Jojopyun's going to be the first target. Solar Player's going to follow up. Myrwn looking for that flank TP. Jojo will fall first. The shutdown goes over to Taki, but Elyoya's on that backline once again. It's Hizto and Taki trying to survive through Elyoya. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Xayah just gets assassinated by Supa and Myrwn. Taki trying to get away from Elyoya, but he continues to chase forward with that call of the pack, and Taki's done for. Hero, full HP, wasn't really in this battle at all. MKOI will take 3, only losing their mid laner.
Team Secret Wales will find the Ahri, but Jojopyun has already done his job for MKOI. He has been fantastic all series long, and he bought enough time for MKOI to jump down to that bottom side, get the kills, and now it's Mountain Soul for an already beefy MKOI.
Another fight, another bunch of gold for MKOI, and they're going to lay destruction to the towers afterwards.
Myrwn diving in with the all-out onto Hero, who's just deleted by the feathers. Super at that 3-item point on this Xayah. Hizto trying to steal away everything he can, trying to get any gold in his back pockets, but currently 12,000 gold advantage for MKOI as they push through the bot side.
They're going to continue to keep up this pressure. The split push is incredibly strong right now with this Baron buff, and Team Secret Wales are spread thin. I honestly don't know how they get through Myrwn at this stage.
They're still going to jump onto Elyoya, who does tank a couple of tower shots. He dives back in with that Eviscerate, but with the minions pushing in, Myrwn pushing through the bot side, Jojo about to join the rest of his team, and with Baron buff remaining for the next 50 seconds, this Red Bull Baron power play may include a 50 gold Nexus.
MKOI about to lay final siege to the Nexus turrets, and here comes the team.
Hizto looking for that engage, the Magnus Storm from Alvaro diving in, Spirit Rush from Jojo just to escape. Hizto down first. Taki the next target for MKOI. Supa trading with Xayah, who just gets back to the fountain in time. Meanwhile, Eddie doing everything he can, but he just can't survive through the wallet dip. It's vengeance for MKOI. They take down the LCP, and they go to 2-2.
MKOI find themselves now 1 series away from being able to make it to playoffs. The smiles on their faces, well earned, because that was a tough series.
Elyoya 10-0-8 on the Naafiri, ending the game deathless.
On a pick that has been up and down for him in the LEC, 4-3 on it all time, now 5-3 for MKOI. Melzet talked a lot about it this week. He said, look, I'm not going to give up. As their coach, even if Europe doubts us, I will be here until the bitter end, and I think that showed in their performance today as they take a bow. We're going to hand it back across towards the analyst desk to break down that series and say goodbye to Team Secret Wales.
Thank you very much. It is Movistar KOI who take their bow in front of the audience and live to fight another day, but a hard-fought battle it was. We will, of course, also give our commiserations to Team Secret Wales. It's been a joy to watch them here at Worlds. I think they probably, of course, weren't very happy with their last game in particular, but they've definitely made us remember their names, and I'm looking forward to what they can show us in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they came into this series pretty much universally considered pretty big underdogs, made it a lot more competitive than people were expecting. Definitely had their opportunities, going to wish they had some of those fights back, maybe change a little bit of decisions, but you can see the future is very bright for the youngest team at Worlds.
I also feel like we saw what we expected from them, right? Where when they are able to punch up, it is through team fighting. When that team fighting doesn't necessarily go their way, sometimes because of their decision to contest